welcome to this pre-recorded session on creating your LinkedIn profile. My name's Kate and I'm one of the careers consultants here at the Newcastle University Careers Service. Today we are going to focus on LinkedIn as an online networking tool and how you can set up your profile to begin establishing your professional online presence. I'm going to be going through several demos to help you create your own profile, which will hopefully support you completing your Getting Started on LinkedIn assignment. We're going to be going through how to sign up to LinkedIn, adding key elements like headlines, summaries, as well as your education and work experience sections. I'm also going to show you some of the useful functions to help you engage within the LinkedIn community. And there's so much you can do with LinkedIn, so it's important that you gradually build up your presence, and the Partner Summer School is a great way for you to begin to do this. So let's start with a few statistics. LinkedIn has become such an effective networking platform in large part because of the sheer number of users now on the site, with nearly 675 million members, 30 million companies and 20 million jobs and experience opportunities. As well as the LinkedIn community as a whole, at the time of this recording, there's also a network of 144,820 Newcastle University students and alumni for you to potentially connect with. Just like any form of networking, being active on LinkedIn comes with multiple benefits. For example, this site provides you with an excellent source for your research. This could be research on potential employers you may want to work for or career paths you might not have come across before, information about a sector you're interested in, or even where you can find local freelancing hubs. LinkedIn also provides you with an excellent means to create or follow up on connections. You are currently coming to the end of a major part of your life. Finishing sixth form or college and preparing to come to university for some of you may mean moving away from friends and previous colleagues, and it's key to keep in touch with these people, especially if they're pursuing different avenues from you. Your school friends and or workmates create a diverse network and may just be the key to your next big career move in 10 years' time. Moving forward, you're also going to have the opportunity to meet new people and create new connections by attending events or even taking part in something like this very summer school. Following up with these new connections on LinkedIn is a great way to foster and preserve these relationships with those people you might not get regular opportunities to meet with in person. LinkedIn is also a great way to make yourself available for opportunities. You can seek them out yourself through job boards or recruitment groups, but having a professional online presence also allows others to seek you out for your skills and experience. And this is especially important if you're considering building your own business or freelancing as a career. This brings us round to our final benefit, which is LinkedIn's ability to help you create your online presence. Building a successful career in the 21st century is often about visibility. Let's be realistic. Any new connection you make, job you apply to, investor you approach, is going to Google you to see what they can find. Not being able to find anything is almost as bad as finding something negative or inappropriate. And I do just mean almost. Make sure you do check those privacy settings on your Facebook page. If an employer can find you through a professional LinkedIn profile that's packed full of information that shows off your skills and achievements, and they can find posts about events you've attended or how you supported a connection with their project, it tells the employer a lot about what type of employee you're going to be. So now you know about some of the key benefits of having a LinkedIn profile, it's time to start creating yours. The first step to that is simply signing up to the site if you haven't already. Moving forward in this session, I'm going to create my own account as if I was a student in your situation. The demo on screen here shows you the process you need to go through to create your account. The first thing is adding your email address. Now I'm going to use my university email address because I already have a LinkedIn account associated with my personal one. However, you should also aim to create your account with a personal address, as you won't have access to your college or university ones forever, and this is a resource we want you to be using throughout your whole career. You'll then need to enter a password and your name and complete the verification check. Once this is complete, you'll be able to add your location to your profile. At the next stage, you'll see here, I have the option to add in my current work role. However, instead, I'm going to click on I am a student. This then takes me to a page which allows me to fill in my current education. Now, we aren't going to worry about too much filling in these details at the moment, as this is something that we're going to come back to later, and a lot of these options apply to you more if you're already studying in university. For now, I'm just going to add in my current sixth form or college and type in NA for the rest. Once you've completed this, you'll then need to check your email for a verification code, and then you'll have the option to begin adding job titles and connections at this stage. You can go ahead and do this, but for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to skip ahead and move straight on to uploading my profile picture. Your profile picture is essential to your LinkedIn profile, and we are going to explore why in a little bit more detail on the next few slides. Once this is complete, you have the option to connect your profile to your phone, which you may want to do for convenience, and follow some companies or people you're interested in. Adding organisations is a great way to follow up and keep track of what's happening in your field of interest. So you can add as many as you like or come back to this at a later stage. Once this is all complete, you'll have created your account and we can move on to developing your profile. A big part about building an effective profile is the impact you can make with a first impression. This means your profile picture is key. LinkedIn users are 21 times more likely to have their profile viewed if they include a photo. Now remember, this is a professional networking site, so though you may be a big fan of your cat or Star Wars, we don't want to see them in your picture. This should be a professional headshot, so pick a natural background and focus on your head and your shoulders. You do also have the option to claim your unique URL. You can do this by going to your profile page and clicking on the option at the top right hand corner that says Edit Public Profile and URL. Once you've done this, you'll see again at the top right hand corner your public URL itself. It'll often have a lot of numbers after your name, so if you click the pen option, you can change these numbers and instead create a URL which only includes your name. You may find, however, that it's already taken, so you can add references to an institution, an organisation, or even your own company in the future. Here you can see that I've chosen to include my name followed by NCL to represent Newcastle University. Your headline is the next key to the first impression you make on your LinkedIn profile. This is the text that is displayed just below your name on your profile, but it does also show whenever you like, comment or post on LinkedIn, so it's something that users see as often as your picture. Your headline should be snappy, no more than 120 characters, and show who you are and what you're doing or want to do in the future. Here you'll see, because I selected that I'm a student when creating the account and added Newcastle College as my most recent education provider, my headline reads Student at Newcastle College. Even if I was to change this to focus on my prospective plan instead, wrote something like Prospective Law Student at Newcastle University, it still doesn't have that much of an impact. Instead, I want to introduce something active to my headline, like a goal. This could be a role you're aspiring to, or even a sector you're seeking an experience in. To update your headline, you just need to click on the blue pen option that you can see on the screen here, and simply type in the new text to your headline box. In this section, you can also select the industry that you're interested in. As I've chosen to create my profile as a prospective biomedical sciences student with aspirations to work in clinical science, I'm going to select research as my chosen industry. Once I've updated my headline, you'll see that my profile has hit intermediate status. Completing the next few sections will help you move all the way up to your all-star status. Now we have a strong first impression, we can follow it up with an impactful About You section. And this involves adding a summary which should tell other LinkedIn users who you are, show off your interest and expertise, as well as your goals for your career. This could be as specific as a particular job role, or if you're not too sure yet what's next for you after university, it could be about exploring a sector of interest. This summary is also an excellent place for you to inject some personality into your LinkedIn profile. Remember, the key to lasting connections is building a strong relationship, and people tend to do this with people that they like. As long as it remains professional, showing off who you are on a more personal level can be a great way to draw others to your profile. Using the first person when you're writing is an important part of achieving this. Finally, it can be a good idea to conclude your summary with a call to action. This is just 1 or 2 sentences that shows off what you'd like to achieve with your LinkedIn profile. For example, you could state that you're searching for work experience or you want to connect with people in a particular field. To add your summary, you first need to select it from the drop-down options by clicking on the Add Profile section button. Once you've done this, you're able to type your text, and you can see here I've chosen to say, I'm a school leaver currently awaiting A-level results before attending university to study biomedical sciences. My education so far has developed my interest in the human body, and I'm excited to develop my understanding of the science behind new treatments and preventative approaches to common diseases in order to allow me to achieve my goal of making a real difference to human health by working as a clinical scientist. My other interests include sport, and I'm an active member of my local netball team. Since the COVID-19 outbreak, I've spent a lot of my time running online fitness classes for my local community, and I've managed to walk almost 400 miles. My goal is to get to 500 miles so I can listen to the proclaimers and shout out, I have walked 500 miles. I'm always open and happy to connect with my peers, employers and professionals. Send me a connection request or follow my professional Twitter @CareersKate. Once you're happy with the summary, you can click Save, and here you can see this section has now appeared in your profile. Now we have a strong introduction and hopefully you've made a good first impression, we can start to add more details to our profile in order to show off our experience, education and skills. To do this, we need to revisit the Add Profile section button and select Work Experience from the background options. Now, LinkedIn prioritises work experience on your profile, so it's important to remember that any experience of the workplace you have can be classed as work experience, and this is true for both paid and unpaid opportunities. LinkedIn, however, does allow you to add sections specifically for voluntary work, so when adding entries to your work experience section, you may want to focus on any part-time work, placements or internships you've already completed. The first entry I'm going to add is for a sales assistant working in Sainsbury's. You'll need to add all the relevant details like job title, name of company, location and the dates you work there. And when adding new sections on your LinkedIn profile, it's important to remember you deselect the Update My Headline option, as this will change the headline that you've already spent time crafting. Once you've completed this, you'll be able to add a brief description of what you were responsible for and what you achieved in the role. Now, if your experience isn't as relevant to the field that you're interested in, your description should focus on highlighting the transferable skills you've gained, such as communication and teamwork. As you progress throughout your time at university, you can continue to add to these sections, including more details as you gain more relevant experience. Once you complete this, you'll see that I now have an experience section on my profile, which I can amend the entry easily by clicking on the blue pen option, and you can even add more instances of work experience by selecting the blue add sign at the top right hand corner of the section. As I mentioned, you can also add volunteering that you may have done to your LinkedIn profile. To do this, you just need to follow the same process that you did for your work experience, and you can see this being demonstrated on screen. Volunteering is not just a great way to develop more skills and contacts, but it does also allow you to give back to your local community, make friends, and demonstrate your passions to graduate employers. It's also a great way of showing your ability to manage your work-life balance, which employers are always looking for. If you are interested in volunteering when you come to university, check out the Go Volunteer services in the Students' Union. They manage some wonderful community projects as well as partner with over 150 charities, schools and community volunteering groups to offer you a diverse range of opportunities. You can find out more about Go Volunteer on the Newcastle Students' Union website, and hopefully this will provide you with some excellent opportunities to add to your LinkedIn profile in the future. Next up is your education and skills section. Again, you can use the Add Profile section button. However, you'll remember that when setting up the profile, I entered Newcastle College as my training provider. Because I did this, an education section has already been added to my profile, so I can simply scroll, find this and select the blue pen to edit. A useful tip when filling in your education entries is to be aware that the degree option is where you add the type of qualification you have. So this is where I'm going to put A-levels, but you can also add BTECs or GCSEs, or once you've started your degree, you might be adding something like BA, BSc or MEng, depending on what you've chosen to study. Your field of study is therefore the subjects that you've chosen, and when entering your A-levels, you can list these all in one go rather than adding separate entries. If you've got your grades, you can add this to the box provided, or if you've not yet received them, you can just leave this blank. LinkedIn also allows you to list any activities and societies that you've been part of and describe any particular relevant projects or modules that you've done. It's worth noting that when you come to adding your degree to your LinkedIn profile, we would recommend that you focus on the description section and highlight your course content and transferable skills in much more detail. Your module catalogue can help you identify some of the skills you gain from your course. Once you've added your detail into the education section, the final thing we need to do to bring our profile up to all-star status is to add at least 5 skills. These should be skills that are relevant to the content and the information that you've already listed on your profile. So for example, here I'm going to add communication, teamwork and customer service skills to reflect the experience that I've listed as a sales assistant with Sainsbury's. I am also going to add planning, and I'm going to select social media from one of the options that are suggested to reflect the voluntary experience that I've had preparing and promoting online fitness classes. Now that I've done this and clicked the Add Overall button, you can see that I've achieved an all-star profile. There are 2 final things we need to do in order to enhance your LinkedIn experience, and the first is to make some connections. All of the students on the Partners programme should be working through the module as you are, so everyone should have a profile by the time you begin your academic activities. Connect with those friends you make on your programme, as well as the student reps, academics, industry professionals that are here to support you. Don't forget to make your request personalised by using a note, and this is especially important if you haven't interacted with an individual previously. You'll find the individuals by using the search bar at the top of the site, and here you can see I've found Ellie Lythe, a Partners graduate herself and an industry guest on last year's Ask the Experts webinar. Let's say I attended this webinar and in it I asked Ellie a question. After the session, I can follow this up by requesting to connect and adding a note. Be aware this will look different if you are using the LinkedIn app on your phone. You'll need to select the option for a personalised invitation you'll find within the ... under the individual's name. Your note should be personal, so here I've written, "Hi Ellie, I really enjoyed your talk on the Partners Industry webinar. What you said about getting connections really struck a chord with me. I was hoping to connect to stay up to date with what you have going on. Thank you, Kate." Once I'm happy with this, I can then select to send the invitation. You can also find each other by joining the Partners 2025 Summer School group. Scan the QR code on screen or find the link in your LinkedIn assignment on Canvas. You'll need to remember to activate your alerts for posts by selecting the bell icon, and it can be a great way to stay in touch with your fellow partner students throughout university and into your career. We even have a few speakers lined up on the Ask the Experts panel sessions who have volunteered to share their experiences with you all by signing up through their own Partners LinkedIn group. You can also add to your experience on LinkedIn and your engagement with the site by following some relevant organisations and joining in with some groups and hashtags. You can see here that at the end of my profile it says I'm interested in Sainsbury's and Newcastle College, and this is because these are 2 of the organisations that feature in my profile information so far. If I then go to my home feed, apart from a few LinkedIn promoted posts, the only ones I can see are from Sainsbury's and Newcastle College, and this is because I'm not currently connected with anyone else or following any other organisations. To remedy this, you can simply search for companies, public figures, charitable organisations, academic institutes and so on that you're interested in. As my profile is written as a prospective biomedical sciences student, I'm firstly going to have a look at the Institute of Biomedical Sciences webpage and select the option to follow them. Once I've done this, you can see a range of related organisations are suggested for me. You can take some time exploring through these recommendations, have a look at their About Us information, explore some of their profiles for those working at the organisation, have a look at what events they're listed, and decide if there is an organisation you would like to stay up to date with. The more organisations you follow, the more relevant information your home feed will include. You can then have a look at posts and start to promote opportunities and people that you may want to go on and engage with. This is one of the ways you can begin to expand your network on LinkedIn. Take some time to read through the posts and you can choose to like, follow or share and comment and begin engaging in that community. You can also do this by joining relevant groups. Again, you'll find these through the search bar by typing in different keywords. Here I've typed in something as generic as clinical science, which is an area of interest on my profile. And when looking at this, you'll need to select the All Results option in order to filter your results to groups. Let's take a look at a second one here, which is titled Resourcing in Life Sciences. Immediately you'll see the request button to join, but make sure you take the time to read the description about the group to see if it's something that's going to be relevant for you. Groups all have different purposes, so try and always pick ones that you're going to be actively using and interacting with. One of the final engagement options you have is following a hashtag. When creating your own posts, users have the opportunity to hashtag keywords to make their posts easily discoverable. Just like on Twitter and Instagram, you can search and follow these hashtags to add to your incoming feed. The demo on screen shows me doing this for the science communication hashtag. Once you're happy with your LinkedIn profile, start posting about your summer school experience and networking with peers, academics and industry professionals taking part this year. Remember, your mission across the 2 weeks of partners is to post content, and you can see inspiration from those on last year's summer school appearing on your screen now. Your academics are aware of this mission and are happy for you to take pictures throughout your time on campus. Just remember to make sure to ask permission first. There may be some instances like lab activities where it may not be appropriate. Post about what you're getting up to and what you've learned and created, and remember to include the hashtag partners 2025 so we can find your posts. Thank you for joining me on this LinkedIn Basics session. Remember, these are just the basics. There are many other advanced tools you can use and sections you can add to enhance your LinkedIn experience. So keep exploring and adding to your own account as you progress throughout the summer school and also into university. I look forward to seeing your profile submissions for your LinkedIn assignment on the Careers and Employability module and chatting with you via your LinkedIn posts.